The second property that is reaction with water. Metals react with water and displace hydrogen from water to form metal hydroxide or metal oxide and hydrogen gas. Some metals react with cold water, some with hot water, and some with steam. Potassium reacts vigorously with cold water to produce potassium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. The chemical equation is as follows. Potassium plus water gives potassium hydroxide plus hydrogen plus heat. Heat energy will be evolved. When there is emission of heat energy, it is an example of exothermic reaction. You know that. Next one, magnesium. Magnesium reacts vigorously with hot boiling water or steam to form magnesium oxide and hydrogen. The chemical equation is as follows. Magnesium plus water gives magnesium oxide plus hydrogen. Next one, zinc. Zinc reacts rapidly only with steam to form zinc oxide and hydrogen gas. The chemical equation is as follows. Zinc plus water gives zinc oxide plus hydrogen gas. Copper metal does not react even with steam. Metals such as gold, silver and platinum are quite unreactive and lie at the bottom of reactivity series. What is the reactivity series? I will explain a little later. Due to this property, they are used in making ornaments, decorative items and coins. Platinum is used in making alloys, electrical gadgets and international standards of weights and measures. Let us perform an activity to understand the reaction of metals with water. So all the metals, when they react with water, they will form the oxides or hydroxide, metal oxides or metal hydroxide. Along with this, hydrogen gases also will be evolved. Okay. What are the things to show that a metal reacts with water to form hydrogen gas? Okay. What are the things you need? Sodium metal, a piece of sodium metal, a filter paper, a 250 ml beaker, a knife, blue litmus and red litmus paper and some water. Okay. Cut a small piece of sodium with the help of a knife and remove the kerosene by pressing the piece between the folds of a filter paper. Why we have to do this? Because since sodium is highly reactive, it is stored in kerosene. When you take it away from kerosene, it contains some molecule of kerosene, some liquid of kerosene will be attached to its body. So to remove this kerosene, you have to press it with filter paper or rub it with filter paper. Take a beaker, fill 3/4 of it with water. Now put the piece of sodium into the beaker. What do you observe? The sodium metal floats on the surface of water and at the same time it melts to form a silvery white ball. The silvery white ball of sodium darts over the surface of water with a hissing sound and producing tiny bubbles of hydrogen. The silvery white ball gradually becomes smaller in size and catches fire. It burns with a golden yellow flame. The solution becomes hot. This is because the heat evolved in the reaction melts the sodium metal and the hydrogen gas produced during reaction catches fire. After this reaction, if the solution is tested with blue and red litmus paper, the red litmus paper turns blue, which means this shows that the solution is basic in nature. The chemical equation is as follows. Sodium plus water gives sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas plus heat. Heat energy is also evolved. That is why we can conclude this is an when you touch the beaker, you can feel the heat energy. Conclusion: when a metal reacts with water, hydrogen gas is formed, and at the same time metal oxide and metal hydroxide also will be formed. But what is the net result? When a metal reacts with water, hydrogen gas is formed. Non-metals do not react with water or steam. Metals react with water to form basic oxide with evolution of heat. This can be understood clearly by an activity. Take a 250 ml beaker. Fill half of it with water. Now carefully cut a small piece of sodium metal. Dry it using a filter paper and wrap it with a small piece of cotton. Put the sodium metal piece wrapped in cotton into the beaker. Now observe carefully. Now you observe that sodium reacts vigorously with water. During this activity, keep away from the beaker. When the reaction stops, touch the beaker. What do you feel? You feel that the beaker becomes hot. This is because the reaction is an exothermic reaction and hence heat is evolved. Now test the solution with blue litmus and red litmus paper. You will find that the solution turns red litmus to blue. This is because a base is formed, that is, when sodium reacts with water to form sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is a base. From this you can conclude metals react with water to form metal oxides or hydroxides with evolution of heat. Clear? Now you will be able to answer why sodium is kept in kerosene. Sodium is a highly reactive metal. It reacts vigorously with oxygen and water. This is an exothermic reaction. But sodium does not react with kerosene. So it is stored in kerosene. Now I want to ask one question to you. Why we use gold, silver and platinum for making our ornaments? Metals such as gold, silver and platinum are quite unreactive. Due to this property, they are used in making ornaments, decorative items and even for making coins, right? They are quite unreactive in nature. Why we should not use sodium or potassium or calcium? Because they are highly reactive. From this statement, what do you conclude, children? Listen, metals, they have different chemical reactivity. Metals are arranged in a series according to their chemical reactivity. Clear? Few metals are highly reactive in nature, few metals are less reactive in nature. Okay, based on this, metals are arranged in a series. The arrangement of metals in a vertical column in the order of decreasing reactivities is called the reactivity series of metals. In the reactivity series, the most reactive metals are placed at the top, whereas the least reactive metals are placed at the bottom. Look at this. This is the reactivity series. Potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, etc. They are placed at the top. And from the bottom, look at this. Platinum, gold, silver, mercury, copper. These are placed at the bottom. So the metals which are placed at the top are considered as more reactive metal, and metals which are placed at the bottom are considered as the least reactive metal. Clear why I am saying all these things? Because we are going to learn one more reaction, that is the chemical property of metals and even non-metals. We are going to learn, that is known as displacement reaction. I will explain what is a displacement reaction with an activity. Okay. In any reaction, a metal can replace another metal if it is placed above the other metal in the reactivity series. Look at the reactivity series. Consider zinc. Zinc is placed above copper. Copper is placed at the bottom and zinc is placed at the top. So compare these two metals, zinc and copper. Here zinc is placed above copper, which means zinc is a highly reactive metal and copper is the least reactive metal. Okay. If in any reaction a metal can replace another metal if it is placed above the other metal in the reactivity series. So zinc is placed above copper. So zinc can replace copper from copper compound. Clear? This is known as displacement reaction. But it cannot replace a metal which is placed above in the series. For example, zinc. Above zinc what is present? Sodium, potassium is present. So zinc is able to replace only copper, and zinc is not able to replace either sodium or potassium, etc. Clear? For example, zinc is placed above copper, so it can replace copper and copper from copper compound, right? This is known as displacement reaction. Let me repeat. A more reactive metal can replace a least reactive metal from its salt solution is known as the displacement reaction. I will explain the same with an activity. In this module, we are going to discuss about the displacement reaction. Reaction of iron nail with copper sulfate solution. In this module, you will learn about the reaction of iron nails with copper sulfate solution. When an iron object is kept in copper sulfate solution, the color of the solution changes. Let us perform an activity to find out the details of this color change. Required items are iron nail, sandpaper, test tubes, copper sulfate solution, thread, clamp stand and test tube stand. Take two test tubes marked as A and B. In each test tube, pour about 10 ml of copper sulfate solution. Fix the test tube A on the clamp stand and keep the test tube B in the test tube stand. Now take 3 iron nails and clean them by rubbing with sandpaper. I have taken 3 iron nails and I am cleaning the 3 iron nails with sandpaper. Tie 2 nails together with the thread and immerse them carefully inside the copper sulfate solution in test tube A. Keep the third nail aside. After 20 minutes, take out the nails and keep them aside with the first nail. Compare the 3 nails. Do you observe any color change? On comparing the nails, the iron nails which are kept in the copper sulfate solution have developed a reddish brown layer on them. Now take out the test tube A from the clamp stand and keep it beside the test tube B for comparison. On comparing both the solutions, you will find that the blue color copper sulfate in test tube A has faded away. What is the truth behind this change? Iron, when reacts with copper sulfate solution to form iron sulfate or ferrous sulfate plus copper. Iron plus copper sulfate gives ferrous sulfate, iron sulfate plus copper. In this reaction, iron being more reactive than copper displaces copper from copper sulfate solution and forms ferrous sulfate solution which fades the deep blue color of the solution. The displaced copper then deposited on the iron nail in the form of a reddish brown coating. In this reaction, a more reactive metal, iron, displaces a less reactive metal, copper, from its compound or from its salt solution, that is copper sulfate solution. This is known as displacement reaction. In this module, you have learned that a highly reactive metal displaces a less reactive metal from its salt solution.